Obsolete. No longer modern or fashionable. Antiquated. Outdated. Old-fashioned. The fax machine is becoming obsolete in the age of email. The paper map is becoming obsolete in favor of GPS navigation. The arrival of new technology made old devices obsolete. Promising. Positive and hoping for good things. Optimistic. Upbeat. Sanguine. The clinical trial showed promising results for the new drug. The investors were skeptical despite the promising business plan. The job prospect in the current economy is not very promising. Contemporary. Existing, or occurring at the same time. Concurrent. Coexisting. Simultaneous. The primary focus of this museum is on contemporary art. Modern cuisine blends traditional and contemporary flavors. The contemporary technology we use today is very advanced. Profound. Very serious or formal in manner. Serious. Big deal. Solemn. The speaker's words were profound and thought-provoking. The Black Death had a profound impact on European society. Sometimes, religion can have a profound impact on people's lives. Timely. Happening at the best possible moment. Appropriate. Seasonable. Auspicious. It is feasible to complete your homework in a timely manner. The company puts assurance upon the timely delivery of orders. The timely evacuation averts casualties during a natural disaster. Bewildered. Completely puzzled, or confused. Baffled. Speechless. Or struck. She was completely bewildered by the difficult exam questions. The customer was bewildered by the high price of the product. The sudden change in weather left me bewildered and confused. Tempting. It makes you want to do it or have it. Alluring. Tantalizing. Seductive. The discounted price was tempting on a budget shopping trip. The aroma of freshly baked cookies was irresistibly tempting. No matter how tempting it may be, never sacrifice your dignity. Nostalgic. Awakening memories of something similar. Indicative. Evocative. Reminiscent. I have a nostalgic memory of my childhood summer vacations. Looking at old family photos always makes us feel nostalgic. My mom gets nostalgic when she talks about her wedding day. Destitute. Lacking essential things for a comfortable life. Impoverished. Deprived. Underprivileged. The fire victims were destitute and lost everything they owned. The tsunami left many people destitute and without clean water. The charity organization provided aid to the destitute community. Unlikely. Not expected to happen, not likely. Unrealistic. Far-fetched. Questionable. Doing business without a strong work ethic is unlikely to succeed. The prospect of passing the exam without studying is unlikely. They would be unlikely to hire someone without any experience. Skeptical. Doubting that something is true or useful. Suspicious. Doubtful. Distrustful. Many people are skeptical about the safety of self-driving cars. The judge was skeptical of the defendant's claim of innocence. I was skeptical about the lecture, but it changed my perspective. Witty. Using words in a clever and funny way. Humorous. Fanciful. Sharp-witted. The script was filled with witty dialogue and clever jokes. The comedian is known for his hilarious jokes and witty humor. The comedian's witty remarks made the crowd explode in laughter. Vivid. Producing powerful feelings or clear images. Realistic. Lifelike. Graphic. The book provided a vivid description of the main character. I often have vivid dreams at night, and they inspire my creativity. The poet's use of figurative language created vivid imagery. Reasonable. Behaving in a sensible and fair way. Adequate. Satisfactory. Decent. The travel expense for meals during the trip was reasonable. It is reasonable to expect people to be kind to one another. The amount of time spent watching TV should be reasonable. Intrigued. Arouse the curiosity or interest in something. Captivated. Absorbed. Inquisitive. The detective was intrigued by the anomalies in the crime scene. The foreign culture is intrigued by its unique customs and traditions. Specialists were intrigued by a woman who writes upside down. Absurd. Ridiculous, or completely unreasonable. Foolish. Irrational. Laughable. The idea that women are inferior to men is absurd and outdated. The notion that education is a waste of time is absurd and ignorant. The notion that climate change is a fraud is absurd and dangerous. Somber. A feeling of great sadness. Bleak. Depressing. Miserable. The somber atmosphere in the courtroom made me feel nervous. The bright pink dress was incongruent to the somber occasion. The news was somber, but we found comfort in each other's company. Vulnerable. Susceptible to being attacked or damaged. Unprotected. Helpless. Exposed. Allow yourself to be vulnerable and open to new experiences. The city was vulnerable to power outages during severe storms. Now, the environment is vulnerable to pollution and climate change. Whimsical. Spontaneously fanciful or playful. Outlandish. Eccentric. Capricious. The fairy tale had a whimsical ending that surprised everyone. The circus had a whimsical atmosphere with clowns and acrobats. The cartoonist's humor was both whimsical and thought-provoking. Superficial. Concerned only with what is obvious or apparent. Perfunctory. Shallow. Sketchy. The politician's promises were superficial and lacked substance. The fashion industry often promotes superficial beauty standards. Stop being so superficial and learn to appreciate inner beauty. Dogmatic. Asserting opinions in an arrogant manner. Adamant. Prejudiced. One-sided. The coach was dogmatic about the team's strategy for the game. His dogmatic personality made it hard for him to work in a team. The artist's dogmatic approach to painting limited her creativity. Definitive. Considered to be the best of its type. Perfect. Ultimate. Most reliable. The book provided a definitive account of the historical event. The definitive answer to the question was provided by the experts. The politician's speech was the definitive statement on the issue. Robust. Exhibiting strength, or vigorous health. Sturdy. Durable. Long-lasting. The findings were supported by a robust statistical analysis. This business company has a robust marketing strategy in place. If multiple units are installed, the system becomes more robust. Ambivalent. Having mixed feelings about something. Indecisive. Uncertain. Hesitant. They were both somewhat ambivalent about having a child. The politician was ambivalent about the proposed legislation. The butterfly was ambivalent about which flower to land on. Audacious. Showing a willingness to take risks. Daring. Courageous. Fearless. The audacious activist organized a protest against injustice. The audacious adventurer climbed a treacherous mountain peak. She was audacious by nature and never let fear hold her back. Taciturn. Unwilling to speak about thoughts or feelings. Reserved. Reticent. Introverted. The taciturn artist preferred to let his work speak for itself. His taciturn nature made it difficult for him to make friends. The taciturn employee was often overlooked for promotions. Provocative. Intended to annoy or upset people. Instigative. Annoying. Irritating. The book's provocative themes made it a controversial read. The politician's provocative speech sparked a heated debate. The writer's provocative characters challenged societal norms. Euphoric. Feelings of generating intense happiness. Overjoyed. Exhilarated. Elated. The girl was euphoric when she saw the snow for the first time. Winning the championship game left the team feeling euphoric. The feeling of being in love can be euphoric and overwhelming. Exponential. growing or increasing very rapidly. Rampant, expanding, flourishing. The value of the stock market rose along an exponential curve. The potential for growth in the technology sector is exponential. Now, consumption growth, like population growth, is exponential. Splendid. Very impressive and beautiful. Magnificent. Dazzling. Lavish. The antique shop had a splendid selection of rare and valuable items. The opera singer's voice was truly splendid and filled the auditorium. The historical cathedral was a splendid example of Gothic architecture. Ambiguous. Having more than one possible meaning. Confusing. Uncertain. Double-edged. The message in the advertisement was ambiguous and misleading. The directions were ambiguous, I didn't know which way to go. The law was criticized as unconstitutionally vague and ambiguous. Derogatory. Showing a critical or disrespectful attitude. Contemptuous. Abusive. Insulting. The politician's derogatory comments caused a lot of controversy. It's important to avoid making derogatory comments about others. The singer apologized for using derogatory language in his lyrics. Introspective. Examination of one's thoughts and feelings. Meditative. Thoughtful. Reflective. Take a moment to be introspective and reflect on your actions. Being introspective can help you overcome obstacles and challenges. His introspective tendencies made him a great problem solver. Fervent. Having, or displaying a passionate intensity. Passionate. Vehement. Intense. The photographer had a fervent passion for capturing moments. The student had a fervent determination to succeed academically. The teacher had a fervent commitment to her students' success. Esoteric. Having an inner or secret meaning. Enigmatic. Cryptic. Obscure. We were fascinated by the esoteric rituals of the indigenous tribe. Kabbalism is associated with the occult and esoteric knowledge. The esoteric practices of the secret society were shrouded in mystery. Authentic. Something real, or genuine. Original. Genuine. Legitimate. Traditional art is an authentic expression of the people. The Japanese tea ceremony is an authentic cultural experience. Being authentic can contribute to a more genuine personality. Sophisticated. Graceful and stylish in appearance or manner. Polished. Artistic. Elegant. The art museum had a sophisticated collection of paintings. The movie had a sophisticated storyline that kept me engaged. The appearance of the restaurant was elegant and sophisticated. Insipid. Not having a strong taste or character. Boring. Characterless. Monotonous. The performance was insipid and failed to impress the audience. The artwork was insipid and lacked any creativity or originality. She said she was a good cook, but the food she cooked is insipid. Grandiose. When something is fabulous or wonderful. Grand. Glorious. Majestic. The grandiose mansion had a library with thousands of books. The marble beyond the columns in the auditorium is grandiose. The grandiose fountain in the courtyard was a popular attraction. Exuberant. Feeling really happy and enthusiastic. Exhilarated. Cheerful. Full of life. The exuberant music filled the room, making everyone want to dance. The exuberant fireworks lit up the sky with vibrant colors and patterns. An exuberant beauty that presents an enormous tourism potential. Colloquial. Associated with familiar and informal conversation. Unofficial. Casual. Conversational. The book was written in a colloquial style that made it easy to read. The use of colloquial language is common in everyday conversations. It's hard to understand the colloquial idioms of a foreign language. Abnormal. Deviating from the normal or average. Exceptional. Unusual. Extraordinary. A cerebral tumor is an abnormal growth of cells in the brain. The doctor diagnosed the patient with an abnormal heart rhythm. The size of the waves was abnormal, reaching dangerous heights. Excruciating. Causing great pain or anguish. Agonizing. Tormenting. Dreadful. The agony of a toothache can be excruciating for some people. Venom by centipedes can cause excruciating pain and swelling. The bone dislocated beneath the skin, causing excruciating pain. Discernible. Capable of being noticed and recognizable. Apparent. Detectable. Perceptible. The detective studied the crime scene for any discernible pattern. The non-aromatic hydrocarbon did not have any discernible odor. The painting was non-objective, with no discernible subject matter. Proficient. Any skillful or clever physical movement. Skillful. Professional. Dexterous. The soldier trained for months to become proficient with his gun. In addition to her language skills, she is also proficient in coding. He is an all-round musician, proficient in playing various instruments. Tranquil. Quiet and free from disturbance. Soothing. Serene. Pleasing. The sound of the river flowing was very tranquil and peaceful. The tranquil music helped me focus and concentrate on my work. The island was tranquil as the palm trees swayed in the breeze. Coherent. Logical and well-organized, easy to understand. Understandable. Logical. Reasonable. The novel had a coherent plot that kept the reader engaged. The narrative of the essay was well organized and coherent. The professor's lecture was coherent and easy to understand. Dainty. Easily damaged, or requires careful handling. Delicate. Exquisite. Graceful. The dainty flowers within the bouquet added a touch of elegance. The dainty embroidery on the pillowcase was intricate and beautiful. The audience was captivated by the dainty movements of the dancer. Outstanding. Much better than usual, excellent. Distinguished. Superb. Brilliant. The actor won an award for their outstanding role in a movie. His impressive academic achievements were desirably outstanding. The delivery of the performance was outstanding and impressive. Devastating. Highly destructive, or damaging. Damaging. Detrimental. Fatal. The impact of the pandemic on the economy has been devastating. The extent of the damage caused by the tornado was devastating. The nuclear bomb was a devastating weapon used in World War II. Dubious. Uncertain feelings, or doubt about something. Wavering. Tentative. Equivocal. The evidence presented in court was dubious and unreliable. The safety of the amusement park ride was dubious to the parents. The artist's new painting received dubious reviews from critics. Egotistical. Thinking you are more important than others. Pompous. Narcissistic. Selfish. His egotistical behavior caused him to lose the respect of his peers. She is so egotistical that she never listens to anyone else's opinions. Some people, when they are leaders, become too egotistical. Sublime. Very high quality and causing great admiration. Breathtaking. Fabulous. Mind-blowing. The feeling of being surrounded by nature can be quite sublime. If you're looking for a sublime way to relax, try practicing yoga. The sound of waves crashing on the shore can be quite sublime. Perplexed. Something is difficult to understand or solve. Confused. Puzzled. Baffled. The sudden power outage perplexed the entire neighborhood. The contradictoriness of his explanations left everyone perplexed. The unexpected outcome of the experiment perplexed the scientists. Frivolous. Not having any serious purpose or value. Insignificant. Trivial. Inconsiderable. The comedian entertained the audience with his frivolous jokes. The frivolous spending habits of the couple led to financial strain. The government misspends taxpayers' money on frivolous expenses. Authoritarian. Controlling everything and forcing people to obey. Tyrannical. Arbitrary. Domineering. It's important to be kind and not always be an authoritarian. An authoritarian government may use force to maintain control. The authoritarian coach demanded absolute loyalty from the team. Appalling. Very unpleasant and shocking. Shocking. Horrendous. Offensive. The level of pollution in the river was appalling beyond belief. The amount of racism and discrimination on campus was appalling. The amount of cheating that goes on in some classes is appalling. Enchanting. To attract and hold the attention of something. Alluring. Bewitching. Mesmerizing. The freshly cut roses made the flower shop smell enchanting. The darkness of the forest during a full moon was enchanting. The enchanting melody of the piano piece left everyone in awe. Grotesque. Odd, or unnatural in shape and appearance. Distorted. Ill-shaped. Malformed. The grotesque monster in the movie was computer-generated. The grotesque makeup on the actor made them look like a monster. The Halloween decorations were so grotesque that they scared me. Dramatic. Causing great interest, or excitement. Striking. Thrilling. Suspenseful. Environmentalists are alarmed by the dramatic increase in pollution. Computers have brought dramatic changes to the workplace. The striking thunderstorm created a dramatic atmosphere. Explicit. Leaving no room for confusion or doubt. Definite. Straightforward. Exact. The company had an explicit code of conduct for employees. The safety rules were explicit and we knew how to stay safe. The lawyer made an explicit argument in favor of his client. Insatiable. Incapable of being satisfied or appeased. Unquenchable. Desiring. Pressing. Most children have an insatiable desire for knowledge. He has an insatiable appetite for achieving his goals and dreams. Nothing, it seemed, would satisfy his insatiable curiosity. Gorgeous. Strikingly beautiful, or magnificent. Attractive. Bewitching. Lovely. The flowers in the garden appear gorgeous in the sunlight. A great hairstyle can make me feel gorgeous and confident. The campus tennis courts have a gorgeous view of the mountains. Indifferent. Showing, or feeling no interest. Apathetic. Heedless. Careless. He was indifferent towards the consequences of his actions. His indifferent behavior towards his family caused tension. The company appeared to be indifferent to customer complaints. Hilarious. Amusing and causing a lot of laughter. Humorous. Comical. Entertaining. We thought it was hilarious when we first heard about it. The romantic comedy had witty dialogue and hilarious scenes. The comedian gave a hilarious speech at the award ceremony. Vindictive. having a tendency to seek revenge. Spiteful, vengeful, malevolent. His vindictive personality made it hard for him to make friends. Vindictive behavior can damage our mental health and well-being. She took vindictive pleasure in ruining her ex-friend's reputation. Thrilled. Feeling intense pleasurable excitement. Fascinated. Captivated. Beguiled. She was thrilled to be invited to the Academy Award ceremony. She was thrilled to get honored for her work in the community. The archaeologist was thrilled about finding ancient artifacts. Mischievous. Enjoying or having fun by causing trouble. Troublesome. Naughty. Misbehaving. The mischiefs of the mischievous cat were always entertaining. He was an adorable child, but he could be quite mischievous. Her expression is mischievous and her mouth is about to laugh. Eloquent. Fluent, or persuasive in speaking or writing. Persuasive. Expressive. Fervent. When it comes to public speaking, she is confident and eloquent. The writer's words were so eloquent, they sounded like poetry. The photographs are an eloquent reminder of the horror of war. Gloomy. Having or showing a lack of hope. Darkened. Despondent. Miserable. The rainy weather made everyone feel unhappy and gloomy. The report indicates a gloomy picture of the upcoming economy. After losing his job, John seemed to be in a gloomy state for weeks. Outrageous. Highly unusual, or unconventional. Ostentatious. Flamboyant. Flashy. The amount of plastic packaging on products is outrageous. The way some people cheat on tests is outrageous and unfair. The amount of sugar in some drinks is outrageous and unhealthy. Pensive. Quietly sad, or thoughtful. Solemn. Sorrowful. Doleful. The pensive mood of the music was melancholic and haunting. He was so pensive that he didn't even notice when I walked in. She became withdrawn and pensive, hardly speaking to anyone. Thorough. To do with great care, or with much detail. Detailed. Complicated. Elaborate. The teacher provided a thorough explanation of the concept. The musician did a thorough practice before the performance. The analyst conducted a thorough review of the market trends. Gullible. Easily influenced by other people. Susceptible. Malleable. Impressionable. It's important to not be gullible to fake news on social media. He is a gullible person who can be easily tricked by false promises. There is a thin line between being open-minded and being gullible. Plausible. Reasonable and likely to be true. Possible. Convincing. Feasible. The argument put forth was plausible, but it lacked credibility. The story was written in such a way that it was believably plausible. The scenario was plausible, but it was unlikely to happen in reality. Empathetic. The ability to sense other people's feelings. Compassionate. Caring. Responsive. Some individuals are innately more empathetic than others. Failure can help us become more empathetic and understanding. The jury towards the victim was empathetic and compassionate. Ominous. A feeling that something bad is going to happen. Inauspicious. Menacing. Sinister. The darkness of the sky during a thunderstorm was ominous. The silence in the room was ominous, making everyone uneasy. The ominous prediction from the fortune teller made me anxious. Pompous. Excessively elevated or ornate. Showy. Exaggerated. Bombastic. Don't act pompous just because you come from a wealthy family. The pompous politician disdained the opinions of his constituents. Acting pompous will only make people think you're full of yourself.